Hey friends, and welcome back to another episode on the Get the Tech Out of Here YouTube channel. And this is going to be a continuation of our last few videos where we're talking about the booking and calendar feature inside System.io's portal. They've made a lot of changes recently, and so I've been moving all of my events over. And one of the cool things that I'm really excited about is that I used to use 3 different booking types on my other calendar provider, which was TidyCal, and Calendly was the same back when I was there. If I wanted to have one event offered at different prices to different people, I would need to give them different links that went to completely different calendars that I would have to set up my availability 3 different times and customize it 3 different times in order to be able to do that. And now with System, I actually don't have to do that anymore, which is really cool. So one of the things that I'm going to do today is show you how I'm migrating over my quick tech troubleshooting calls, which are 25-minute quick sessions that I have available for people in my community and for people who are members of my programs. And then occasionally I have complimentary calls that I hand out for specific use cases. So I've had 3 of those inside TidyCal. You'll see a quick tech troubleshooting call for 147 here. And then down here, you will see a 50% off tech troubleshooting call for members only. And then I have a complimentary one for certain launch bonuses and stuff like that. So that's there. I've got 3 different ones of these 25-minute calls. And what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to create one of these inside System and put it in 3 different pages instead of having to recreate the calendar event and set my availability 3 times. I just get to have different order forms if I want it to be free or not. Okay, so this is the one that we're going to start with. We'll open up this quick tech troubleshooting call. And this is similar to the last video. This is just going to be an over the shoulder. You're watching me migrate my very own events. So this is real life. It's not going to be perfect. It's not going to be highly edited. This is just you watching me over while I'm going through the migration process myself so that you can see how you might do this from TidyCal or Calendly or whatever calendar system you're using right now in order to get it into System.io so that, again, we're getting rid of one more tool and we've got one less place that we are looking and we are able to simplify our systems just a little bit more. So we're going to do a quick tech troubleshooting call here, and I'm going to create a new event, an individual event, and that's what we're going to call it. And we'll leave it at 30 minutes. Mine are usually 25, but we'll leave it at 30 for now. That's totally fine. And we will do a headshot here. That's fine. And then online meeting and Zoom. Again, I have other videos on how to set up your Zoom integration if you have not yet done that. We're not going to do that today because mine is already all set up. So then I'm going to grab this description here and put that there. And then we've got Google Calendar. I do want that added to my Google Calendar. Absolutely. We'll set this through the end of the year. And as we mentioned in the previous video, I'm hoping that System will let us have things that go on for infinity. Right now, that is a feature request that we have in there. We also talked in one of our recent videos about having a minimum notice period. So I'm going to have mine set for 24 hours before a meeting can start. And I'm going to use my global availability for this. And then we've got start time increments. I will leave at 30 minutes and buffer time. For these, I actually want a little bit more of a buffer than I do for most of mine because this takes me some prep work before the call to read through what they've included to make sure that I've got everything that I need pulled up to be able to make the most out of those 30 minutes that we have together. So I don't need time after the event the way that I do for some of my discovery calls. I actually need time before the event to prep for this. And then we will show it in our invitees time zone. And we are all set here. So we'll do that. Event has been created. And now we've got this quick tech troubleshooting call right here. Now, this is actually really fun and exciting because I can set it up a couple of different ways. So I now can create different pages where I'm offering it either for free or at a discount or at full price, and it will work the same way that any System order form does. So if you haven't done a paid call through System's platform yet, this is a great chance to see exactly how that goes. So I'm going to come over to Sites and Sales Funnels, and you'll see I've got a whole bunch of different funnels in here. And I'm going to actually pick a brand new funnel here. So we're going to create a new funnel, and mine is going to be our troubleshooting. Actually, maybe I'll just call this our live call funnel because maybe I'll add some other stuff in here. So I'll call this the live call funnel, and I'm going to leave mine custom, which basically means blank because I already have some templates saved in my account that I want to be able to use. If you don't have that, you can use sell because you're going to be selling your calls here. So we're going to go ahead and click save here. And now when I come into this funnel, I'm going to add an order form. So quick tech troubleshooting call. And this is going to be an order form. And again, I'm going to start from scratch because I already have my own things that I want to be using here, but you can add whatever you would like here. And this is going to be quick tech. That's what I'm going to call it. And since this is my full price one, I'm going to add a digital product, and I'm going to actually create a new digital product name called quick tech call full price. And we're going to add a resource. This is where we add our paid calendar call. Down here, we've got calendar events. And so I'm going to choose that quick tech troubleshooting call. And that's going to pull in all of the information that we just set. But then I get to also choose or create a price plan. So I'm going to create a new one. And again, this will be quick tech troubleshooting call. Quick call, full price, 147. Okay. So I'm just going to put that there, and this will be 147 and save. Okay. Then we'll hit save again. And then I'll come into our funnel page here, and I'm going to drag in a block that I have. So I've got this block here that is more or less what I like to see in there. And so I'm going to go ahead and add in my fonts to this page. There we go. And I've got a background that I like to use, so we'll add that background image. Okay. Alrighty. So now that we've got that in there, this image here, I have a mock-up that I'll use there, just so you can see me. Perfect. And instead of this information, we're going to add in the information that we were talking about before. So I will delete this bullet list here and instead paste in that whole description that we were using before. And that's fine. And then here, okay. And then down here, this two-step payment form, that's not actually what I'm looking for. What I actually want to have is this paid calendar event. So we're going to drag this over here above that. And you'll see I put it kind of in the same spot so it fills this here, and I'll make this a little bit smaller. There we go. All right, so we've got this here, and I don't know that I like that. Just the way that this column is, and we were looking at this in a previous call, the way that that column is, it just, I don't like the look of that so much. So we'll just bring this up over here, take it out of this two column and see what happens. Okay. So that's fine. And we can actually just go ahead and delete this entire two column row here. And that's already looking a little bit better. Okay, so now we've got this quick tech troubleshooting call. Let's click on that and make sure that it has our colors in there. And that's already a little bit better. I want it to be 12-hour format. Okay. Some interesting availability going on there. Not quite sure what that is. I'll have to take a look at that afterwards. And then we've got this form over here. And when we look at the calendar, that looks good. But when we look at the form, we'll see some stuff there, right? So we've got first name, last name, email, phone, and then we've got our quick tech troubleshooting call here. I'm going to make that a little bit bigger. Okay. And that is where they're actually going to pay. So that's fine. Submit looks fine. But when we come back to our TidyCal, we'll be able to go down here and look at questions. So you see that this is the only question that I had in here for this call. So we'll come back to the editor and I'm going to actually duplicate one of these fields here. Okay, and duplicate this little label here as well. Move that down. And then in this one, that's where we'll put the question. And then this field, instead of the phone field, we will do, let's see, I think we'll do test field right now. So you would need to create a field for your contacts where they can add in as much info as they want. So mine is called test field. If you don't have a field yet, you can absolutely go and add one in your contacts tab, where you can open up any contact and then just scroll down and add a new custom field and say live call context and hit save. And then you'll be able to add that field to your forms wherever you want, including here inside the editor. So I've already got test field set up, so I'll just leave that, but that's how you would add the field in there. Pretty easy to do. I also want to change the title color. It's not quite my color, so we'll change it to either that darker blue or maybe the green there. That looks better. Okay, so now we have this calendar form where the first step is they pick their date and their time, they hit next step, and then they get taken to this form where it asks for their information, context, and their payment before they can actually hit submit. And that is looking pretty good. So I'm gonna go ahead and hit save here. And if I look at this page, we'll see that everything is working pretty well over here. We've got some dates in here, and those don't have the crazy weird dates that were showing up before, so that's good. So if we click one of these and we hit next step, then it takes us here. We add as much info as we can, and we figure out how we want to pay, and then we hit submit. And because this is a required field, it's not letting them go without submitting that. So that is basically it. That's how that works. And now this 30-minute troubleshooting page is all set up, but this is just my full price page, right? And so I'm going to exit back out of here and I'm going to duplicate this, confirm. And then I'm going to do my members only page here. Now, I actually already have a page, so I'm gonna just put something in here for now and I'll go and update the page that I have later. But this is the members only one. So this is where they get 50% off of that call. So I only charge my members $75 for the same call. So I'm gonna come in here and again, do the same sort of thing of quick tech troubleshooting call, members only. And then for the resource, we're going to do the same sort of paid calendar event with that same call. We're going to set up a price plan. Same thing. Members 75. And then tech call Holly. One-time payment 75. And then hit save. Save again. And if I come in to edit this page, most of this is going to stay exactly the same. So all I need to do now is come in here and just go 50% off for members only. And increase the line height here. Right? That's it. So that's the only edit that I need to make to this entire page. Hit save. And then hit exit. And then I can have another duplicate where I do complementary. So this one is actually interesting because we don't actually want an order form for the complementary one. We really just want an opt-in page for the complementary one. And so we could do the same sort of thing. Quick tech troubleshooting call complementary. And this is just going to be an opt-in. So instead of a sales page, we'll do an opt-in page. Okay. And we'll start from scratch and save. And I'm actually going to delete that one that we had started, remove. Okay. And then the one that we finished, that was 50% off, I'm going to save this whole section because I like this layout. Book a call. I'm going to save this as a block so I can just basically reuse it. All right, now if I exit this and go to our opt-in page and edit this one, I can drop in that new block. There we go. And now you'll see that part of it didn't come over because part of it was an order form and we're not on an order form page. So in order to fix that, let's just fix our fonts real quick. Perfect. Add that background image back. Perfect. Okay. In order to fix that, what we actually need to do is just come drag the form calendar in that one, okay? Because it looks very similar, but because it's not asking for a payment, it's actually a different type of form. So we're just gonna really quick change all of that stuff back, okay? So now we have that, and then if we click the form, we've got what we need there, but we can also add a question here. So we will just do that quick question. Okay, and make it mandatory. And we're gonna just delete some of this padding off to even it out here. We're gonna add some line height here. Whoop. Make that even. Increase the font size a bit. Make that more even. And then we can just either delete that or add in whatever we want. So I deleted that little text there. And now if we click here, we can also see the thank you and we can leave that exactly as it is. Nothing else we need to do there. And then we have complimentary that I changed up there and we can go ahead and hit save and exit. And we are all set. Now, one thing you may want to consider is that this is an order form and does not currently have a thank you page. So you may want to add a thank you page in here just to make something really quick and easy to redirect people or just to let them know to check their email for more information. But now those 3 different versions of my quick troubleshooting call are all here. So we've got my full price one here for $147 that you can see when we go to the next step. So that's the $147 right there. And then we've got our half off one for members only, which is right here. Again, it looks pretty much the same and is utilizing the same calendar settings as the other one without me having to create more events or edit my availability or do any of that. And that's there for $75. And then we've got this free one, which worked slightly different, more as an opt-in, which is here, but has the same exact availability as all of the other ones that we were looking at. So we can do next step and see that this is free for them because it is a complimentary call. So we've got all 3 of those and all 3 of those are utilizing this exact same quick tech troubleshooting call event, which is really fun because then if we want to set up automations after someone books an event, we have one event that we can trigger off of instead of having to remember which page these are paying through. It's just trigger off of this event, and this event can be booked in multiple ways. So hopefully this was helpful for you to see me migrate one of my events over that is both paid and half off and also complimentary sometimes, to see how I set up this particular event and how I set up the funnel for this event as well, because it is a little bit different inside System, but it's also very powerful. And I'm pretty excited to, again, be condensing all of my technology into System even more than it already is, and have all of this set up in one place and have one less tool to worry about. So I hope you found this helpful. And if you have any questions, go ahead, drop them in the comments below, and I will be happy to include those on a future video. Take care.